Hello race fans and welcome to GSRC's inaugural broadcast of the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series, sanctioned by the SSCA. We are getting set for 100 laps of racing action from Michigan, and here to call all the action is myself, Samuel Ryman, along with Sean Ambrose. Our director Joe Peak is doing all of the button pushing from behind the scenes, and he is using camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Sean, all of us here at GSRC are always excited to be covering a new series, especially one for these SSCA guys who have put on some phenomenal shows over in their Challenger and Cup Series divisions. Before we talk about how this truck series differs, though, let's take a look at the stage that this performance is about to play out on the Michigan International Speedway.
Ooh, she's my dear, my darling one, right here in the Irish hills of Michigan, Sam. You know, they opened this track in 1968, right in the heart of American automobile manufacturing. That's right, Detroit. You know, think about what was going on in 1968, the race for horsepower of American muscle, and they built this wide open track here, 2-mile D-shaped oval with 18 degrees of banking, kind of modest by NASCAR standards, but, you know, not bad for any cars. But, you know, the track is noted for being wide, allowing multiple racing lines. I got to race here the other night with the drivers, and Sam, we're in for a fun one here at Michigan International Speedway tonight. But let me stop gabbing. Let's hop on board the GSRC Silverado for a lap around Michigan International Speedway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the Michigan International Speedway in the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado, my home track. So for your laps here, it's going to be a big sprawling speedway, a lot of room to run. But for getting it wound up, you're going to run all the way up here, kind of right next to the fence. And then down into turn one, you're going to let it float out of the throttle just a little bit, probably down to about half throttle. Let it find the seam down here on the bottom lane. Don't go below that seam. It will de-wedge the vehicle and you'll spin out in about a heartbeat. Aiming for that crossover gate out of turn two. Don't hit it. Turn 3 is actually really easy to overdrive here at MIS. As you can see right here, you go into the corner just too hot and it doesn't want to turn down to the bottom where the grip is. But you can still make time up here because coming out of the corner, you're going to be sailing it really high out of the corner, getting a big arc. And then you're going to see guys run right down here a lot too as the run progresses, especially for your qualifying lap, but as the race runs, because it allows for a little bit of a draft block. Back down into turn 1. Out of the gas a little bit, into it, back out to full throttle, right at about the apex of 2. Aim for that crossover gate, and back down the back stretch. A lot of room to run here. You can see guys going 2, 3 wide, maybe even 4 if they're brave enough. Turn 3, let it lift out right about where the caution light is up there on the wall. Back into the gas hard. Let it eat on the bottom, drift it out towards the fence. Out of turn 4, down the front stretch for the final time today. Down all the way here to the apron, don't clip the grass, but across the line, and that is going to complete our track guide around the Michigan International Speedway in the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
Two miles of truck action here at Michigan International Speedway, but tonight we've got to talk about our great sponsor, Top Shelf Auto Detailing, tonight of the sponsor of this 200-mile race. You know, Top Shelf Auto Detailing is Raleigh, North Carolina's most experienced audio detailing company. For over 35 years, Top Shelf Auto Detailing has been making rides look new again. Call Robert over there at 919-883-7497. Tell him GSRC told you to give him a call and get that ride of yours all slick and shined up for a weekend coming up here. Again, call Robert, Top Shelf Auto Detailing, 919-883-7497. Sam?
And as you see, currently the trucks going around the circuit. We are qualifying right now for the race because they have 10 minutes of qualifying left. Now, a lot of these names I'm looking down the order here, Sean, are familiar. for myself, as well as a lot of viewers and followers of this series, and also the Challenger and Cup Series divisions that the SSCA sanctions over. However, there's also some new names, and also when you look at the points, there's some new names, because all of these drivers can only compete in one division each. So let's take a look at the top 12 drivers right now, or should I say top 13?
Yeah, well, we've got a little bit of a log jam here at the top. We've got a very, very tight points race going here in the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series, and right now it's William Hartman sitting at the top of it. Now you see how many points he's got. Not only does he have points, he's got wins indicated by the green there on the left in the far left column. That's it. There have been 8 different winners this season. Only 4 competing for points have picked up wins, Sam. There's Scala, not here tonight. He's actually won 2 races this season. Judd Danielson down there in 5th has not picked up any points yet by way of a win. He's in, and he's got a couple playoff points, but he doesn't have that win yet. Look for Danielson maybe, but Sam, it is the same situation here in the Truck Series as we have in the Cup and Challenger Series. Win, and you are in. Now, there is that tie for the bubble spot right now between McFarlane and Joe Johnson down there. That's that 12th and 13th spot you talked about, Sam, and that's going to be interesting to watch as well. And, of course, in this series as well, the driver who scores the most regular season points also earns 15 more playoff points. So, right now, that being said, our points leader is looking pretty good. Hartman got a pretty good buffer right now with just 2 races to go before we hit the playoffs. And, boy, Sam, you talk about some of the new faces and some of the new names. Well, some of these guys really could use a win here.
Yeah, Hartman, as you mentioned, looking good in the championship standings with the amount of playoff points he's accumulated. However, in the regular season standings, actually looks like Judd Danielson has a 65-point advantage over Hartman with just a couple of rounds left to go. So Danielson looking to pick up those 15 bonus points. As you mentioned, Sean, though, this is crunch time really in the championship. Not only we have that tie for the bubble spot right now, but they've only got a couple of rounds left to sort it out. Let's take a look at our series details here. If you follow the AdPro Challenger Series, it's a very similar schedule to that. You'll see they're coming up to the end of a regular season, and then our playoffs coming up very shortly after that. These are the NASCAR Camping World trucks that they use, the Chevy Silverado and the Toyota Tundra. Fixed setups, limited amount of tires throughout the race, which could definitely shake strategy up. If you bring about 2 incidents, then you will be disqualified. And if there is a caution with 3 or 4 laps left to go, it is not over. Even if iRacing says it is, this series says no, it's not. When the iRacing pace car goes away, we will go back racing again one more time and get this race finished under green. All right, well, Sean, we brought in someone here who's quite familiar to regular viewers of the Simulation Stock Car Association broadcasts. Not racing here in the Truck Series tonight, though.
Yes, and we want to welcome in Mr. Gabe Wood. Gabe, good evening. Really would like to talk to you about this points battle that's going on. I mean, we certainly know, just like any other series, that a win makes everything okay. But what's something that really has your interest peaked right now? Is we've only got 2 races left before the playoffs.
What's really got my interest is just William Hartman. I mean, his dominance. I haven't really been keeping up with the Truck Series this year, but looking at the points, I can definitely see why he's a tough challenger whenever he comes and races myself and the other guys in the Challenger Series. I mean, he puts up one heck of a fight. I can see he does it here with over a 100-point lead, and I thought I had a lot of laps led in the Challenger Series. He has almost 600 laps led and 11 starts, and it's not even, we've had 14 races so far this year. That's really the standout performance I've seen so far. But it's going to be one tough challenge, for the guys like Chris Scala and Ray Richard, Daniel Jackson. They're already locked in. But once we get down to the point where they get to Homestead and they start fighting for the championship, can anybody really catch Will Hartman? I mean, he's going to be so consistent, but he has had a lot of wrecks and a lot of tough finishes, showing with only 6 top 10s on the year. So that'll be an interesting fight when it comes down to the end of the year.
Well, Gabe, certainly you have experience with most of the drivers on this track, and I know you've put some laps in here as well. What do you think about the competition tonight? Are we going to see side-by-side, all-night pack racing, or is this thing going to split up and turn into a follow the leader?
I think for the first few positions, you're going to see guys start to spread out. You may even see the leader break away. So we got 5 minutes left in qualifying. Starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. Guys jumping to the top of the board just like usual with this reverse qualifying format. Somebody like Will Davis is going to be on the pole at the moment. You know, somebody like him, he could pull away at the beginning of the race, you know, before the first stage and, you know, kind of coast to a stage victory. But then you get the flip side of the coin. You could have a bunch of guys start racing for 5th, you know, 2nd through 6th or 7th, and they start drafting together and they start working their way up to the front. And they could just overhaul Will Davis or somebody like Judd Danielson. But, you know, for somebody like Will Hartman, he's going to have to make sure that this race is a race where you can pass that, because he's going to have a lot of work to do from the 4th position.
Yeah, you mentioned our provisional front row right there, Gabe. William Davis provisionally on pole and Judd Danielson in 2nd, but still have the 3 fastest drivers in practice, Scott Seaman, Kevin Fetty and Adam Eisenhower, about to head out on track. Now, of course, it's crunch time in the championship here. So you mentioned how, you know, these drivers are going to have to figure out quickly if they can make passes easily on each other, get up front for the end of this race, because you definitely want big results going into these last couple of events. My question for you with that regard is, how much experience have you had racing this track in particular, and how do you think these races will differ based on what we see the SSCA provide in the Challenger and the Cup Series?
Well, not only have I had experience just watching these guys race, but I've also raced alongside of them. The first year that this league was actually a thing was actually run under the Domino's TYJ banner under Robert McFarland. I commentated the initial 2 seasons of that on different networks, and then last year I ran a part-time schedule with these guys, and it's basically the same core group of guys. And I remember tracks like Michigan and California, they were some of the best racing on the schedule, just because you didn't exactly know how your car was going to act coming into the race. And you also didn't know how the car was going to react during a run, because, you know, of course you can run as many laps as you want during the race or during practice, but you don't know once you start racing side by side and you have to run that bottom seam to get around people. You know, it's going to be tough, especially with Michigan being this late in the season. Sam, these guys are going to have a work cut out for them. Guys like Russ Coe and Joe Johnson, they're on the bubble at the moment. Joe Johnson has 416 points. He's tied with Robert McFarland, and then right behind those 2 guys is Russ Coe, 381. That's about a 2-race gap. So Russ, if he can put a couple of finishes together, he's got 2 top 10s on the year. If he can put some racing together and maybe rattle off a top 10 and maybe even a top 5 in the next 2 races, he may just have a fight for the final few spots in the championship chase.
All right, Sam, I'm going to put Gabe on the spot real quick. We got to do it with just a minute and a half of qualifying left.
Oh, no.
Almost time to put out that Sim Speed Shop Pole Award. But, Gabe, who do you like tonight? Who's going to win this race?
Oh, all right. I'm going to have to go with the guy who's doing his best Gabe Wood impression, Judd Danielson, leading the overall championship, but without a win. This is going to be a night Judd Danielson finally breaks through and gets that first victory on the year.
That's the Dirty Air Studios Toyota there, the number 17. Okay, I like that pick, Gabe. I like that pick, buddy.
Now, I would also go after Robert McFarland, who's starting 8th. He has a number over going after my own heart with the 00. So I always have to root for Robert, which I gave him permission to use. Let me.
Oh, okay. Was there any bartering that was exchanged? Maybe dinner, lunch, something like that? Anything?
No, but whenever we ran together in the truck series, he always ran the 41 because he's a very big Kurt Busch fan. And when he came into this series, whenever the SSCA banner took over, he wanted to run the 00. And I said, fine. So the first few recruitment races, I decided to take the 41. So
okay.
That was the only argument we ever had about it.
Hey, Gabe, we only got a few seconds left of qualifying here, but I did have one more question. Why do so many drivers in this series love the double numbers? We have William Davis in the 11. We have Robert McFarland in your 00. Scott Seaman, 99. Ray Richer in the 44. I mean, and Ralph Forsted down there in the 66. It seems to be a common occurrence.
Well, I tell you what, if you're going to have a good number, you may as well do it twice. So a lot of these guys want to run the 0. They want to run the 6. May as well do it twice for good measure. You like that answer?
I do. My dad ran the 22 for years, and it was his kind of a tribute to Fireball Roberts. That was his favorite driver when he was growing up as a kid. So, yeah, no, I get it. I get the double number theory, Sam. I'm kind of on board with that. I think maybe.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank Gabe for coming in and speaking with us a little bit in the pre-race show. But now our director is shouting at me in my ear. Sean, I think we should go ahead and give the winner of the Sim Speed Shop Pole Award to William Davis. And remember, in the SSCA, for every 2 poles, the driver earns $5, and the driver with the most poles at the end of the season earns $20, courtesy of simspeedshop.com, which is a great place to order custom button boxes as well as to buy and sell used equipment. For more information, go to simspeedshop.com. So let's take a look at that starting grid, Sean. At the front of the field, we have William Davis taking pole by just a few hundredths of a second over Adam Eisenhower. Judd Danielson, who Gabe Wood made as one of his picks, will be starting back in 3rd place alongside Kevin Fetty. Haven't mentioned him yet, but there he is, just lined up in 4th place, ahead of Michael Dullard and William Hartman on row number 3. Daniel Jackson will be starting from 7th position alongside the aforementioned 00 of Robert McFarland. Scott Seaman and Steve Sagers will round out the top 10, all of them only a few tenths of a second back of our pole sitter.
All right, Sam. Row 6 is going to be filled out by Mark McFadden and Ray Richer. Row 7, 13th place, Joe Johnson going to start on the inside. Mike Donahue high up top there on the outside. 15th, going to go to Jason Eisenhower. And we talked about Russ Coe. Well, he's starting 16th. The Floridian will be there tonight in number 420. Row 9, 17th goes to David Gainforth and Sean Callis. Going to start 18th there with him. We go to row 10. It's going to be Ralph Vorst and Jeff Martin. 21st, David Gervais. Jeremy Crandall in 22nd and 23rd. 23 trucks tonight. Kyle Snodgrass. And real quickly, Gabe, thanks again, buddy. You know what? I think we'll talk to you again soon here in this booth, probably.
All right. You know what? I'm looking forward to it, guys. And let me be the first to welcome the SSCA Truck Series to GSRC. Almost messed it up. Wrong broadcast.
All right, man. Time to get racing. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Gabe.
Global Sim Racing Television. I like the sound of that show.
We just might have to start another network.
You can see the pace car has rolled off. It's pulling the 23 cars around this 2.0 mile speedway. And Sean, you mentioned 23 trucks here. All 23 are still on the server. They're on the track. They're all elected to start this race behind the pace car. And boy, that means things should get wild on this opening lap because there's lots of different lines they can race.
Yeah, there is, Sam. It's going to be Katie bar the door. Certainly got to get a little bit of heat in the tires here, find the grip on this track. Sam, here's what I can tell you. Here's what my research found. This thing pushes like a dump truck, and I know that's cliche, and I know everybody uses that, but it really does in traffic. It's not a lot of fun. You've got to find a side. Don't sit right directly in somebody's wake, or you're going to wash up the track. Try and find some downforce on that right front if you can get it. Here we go, Sam.
Here comes the field, out of turn 4. Pace car loses control of him. William Davis takes control of him on the inside in that number 11 machine. Green flag is in the air, and for those about to race, we salute you, because we are racing here in the SSCA Truck Series.
Kyle Snodgrass got off to a real slow start. I think he might have missed a shift, and it leaves him in 23rd right now. He's going to lose the toe here real quick. You don't want to do that at Michigan. Treat this like a super speedway.
Adam Eisenhower didn't get a good initial start from second place on the high side. That allowed Judd Danielson to pull up alongside the inside of him going down the back straight. But now as they floated off into turn 3, let's see if Eisenhower is able to counter an attack. No, he is not. So move Danielson up to second. But Davis retains the lead. They're using all the track. They're even down on the apron there as they complete lap number 1.
Sam Scott Seaman trying to pull out a move on Fetty, trying to get up to 6th place. He's already picked up a couple. Fetty washes up the track there just a bit. The number 94 comes down the track side by side with Kevin Fetty. 3 wide, here we go. The 84 getting in there. There's Daniel Jackson on the bottom.
Man, Fetty started in 4th place, and here he is struggling to hold on to 7th right now. Definitely not a good start for the drivers who started up on the high line, as they already completed on lap 2, and even holding the throttle as wide open as they do around here. I don't know, Sean, is there just not any grip upstairs right now? Maybe there'll be more as the race goes on.
Yeah, no, they're going to have to lay a little bit of rubber down there, and it certainly that's a good place. Once we get settled down, it's a great place to take care of the tires, but it's awfully slick right now, and Fetty is really struggling with that. He continues to struggle. Sam a little bit farther back in the pack, though. Jackson, McFadden, Joe Johnson, all mixing it up on track. Jackson is the one that has lost the most spots. He got in trouble down on the bottom. He's continued to drop, but now he's got a good battle going on here with these two.
It must be emphasized, Sean, as they come around to complete lap 3. When you say further back on in the pack, even the drive in 23rd place is only 4 seconds back of our leader right now.
Exactly. Cover this field with a blanket because we've got some good racing. Another few trucks coming up through the field. Now it's Jeff Martin, Jeremy Crandall, and boy, look at that. The 84 continues to drop. Daniel Jackson way off pace. Drops it all the way to the bottom and gets out of the way. I did not see him pick up any damage, but something's going on there with the 84.
Maybe he's electing to just get out of that pack. I mean, there's no free repairs in this series. Maybe he didn't see something he liked and just wanted to run at the back for now. It's a long race, 100 laps, 3 stages. Don't think we may mention that yet. These guys are racing to lap number 25. That's when the first stage caution will come out. Lap 50 will be the second stage caution, and then they'll be racing to the checker.
Still on this battle here in toward the back part of the pack. But it is a gaggle of trucks right now, all being led by McFadden. But up top, in the middle of it all, it's David Gainforth and that Mr. Bubbles Toyota. Oh, just a nice memory to my childhood right there, actually. Sam, are you familiar with Mr. Bubble?
No, see, I'm a 90s kid, so when you say Bubbles and Powerpuff Girls there.
Oh, okay.
But at least it's the good Powerpuff Girls, not the bad remakes they keep trying to make.
Mr. Bubble struggling all of a sudden there. David dropping back just a bit. Loses a couple spots, finds himself in 20th. But again, this pack here, they continue to just kind of switch positions, try with a little bit of 3 wide every now and then. Jeff Martin was all over the bumper of Ralph Vorst. Goes up the track, comes in front of David Gervais. Gervais trying not to run him over. Oh, gives him a little bit of the chrome horn.
And this is broken very quickly into a 20-truck pack, Sean. The bottom 3 have kind of dropped off a little bit. It seems, as you mentioned, these trucks, the way they're plowing a little bit, that after 6 laps here, they've scrubbed the new off of these Goodyears, and now it's getting tougher for them to run side by side.
Yeah, listen, those first couple laps, you can plant that truck down on the bottom line and run around the shortest part of the track, but man, you get about 5-6 laps on them, forget it. You better start backing up your entry a little bit, and you better back off the guy in front of you because You may have trouble in his wash in the battle up front. Danielson and Davis going at it here.
Danielson was using the apron on the front straight, but you see there, Davis, just by running up on that high line, the high lane wasn't working at the start of the race, but now it is. He's able to use it to defend against the driver of the number 17, Adam Eisenhower, watching on from third.
We've got the brothers Ike in the race tonight. Adam and Jason with us. Jason back in 36th, back in 18th right now. He drives the 36.
And Danielson drives the 17 to the lead, but for how long? See, slides up on the exit there. Davis gets a nice run off and is going to try and resume the lead of this race. He has led every single lap so far, wants to lead another one.
Tell you, I like those Dirty Air Studios trucks. They look pretty hot, man. CCR Racing 1-2 right now. Eisenhower though trying to bust that up, get in there and get his name to the top.
So William Davis continues to lead over Judd Danielson, Adam Eisenhower, William Hartman, and Scott Seaman rounding out the top 5. Seaman already up 4 positions, and he's leading the second pack now, Sean. This thing has really broken apart. The top 4 have broke away by about a second to another 4-car pack, going from 5th back to 8th, and that's Seaman, Dillard, Seggers, and Fetty back there.
Truck struggling right now is the 48, McFadden. Still losing positions, man. He's lost 7. Vorst and Jason Eisenhower just got around him. Boy, now David Gainforth is pulled up just alongside. No, that's not Gainforth. I'm sorry, that's Ralph Vorst in the 66. McFadden in the 48 trying to hang on here.
Oh, and into the wall coming out in turn 2. It's Scott Seaman, and that's going to trigger an incident. Michael Dillard, and the caution is out.
Oh, yeah.
As Seeger spins back across the track. Hasn't been hit.
Sam, we talked about the truck plowing. That's exactly what happened to Seaman. Catch the replay here in just a moment. It just drifts up the track, and then he plants it in the wall. Poor Dullard really didn't have any place to go. You're going to see he tries to make an evasive move, but when he does, he picks up company right there with Steve Seegers, and that's a shame. That's our first caution of the night. And Sam, we were right at just gotten to the halfway point of the segment.
Which makes you wonder, Sean, will we see any strategy played here? Remember, these drivers started on the set of tyres, and they only have 4 more sets they can use throughout the whole race.
That's right, Sam, and tires are going to be a premium. I want a set in my pocket if I get a late caution here. I think I'm going to be in save mode right now. Listen, it takes just under 45 seconds to get around this track. If you've got decent speed, you won't get lapped. And I might be willing to stay out on those tires right here and just run out the segment. Unless you need some quality points at the top, Sam. If you need those bonus points right now, well, maybe you do come in and get those tires. It looks like Judd Danielson going to pull down. He does.
Danielson is in, Dullard is in, Crandall, Callist, McFadden, Draxon, Snodgrass, Seegers, and Co. all into the pits.
Most of those drivers, Sam, picked up trouble in that incident. Not the 17, no. Interesting play by Danielson here.
Oh, I'm seeing Danielson's car goes up on the tracks at all. If he's just topping it off with fuel, that wouldn't entirely make sense to me. But yeah, looks like he is taking 4 tires in that 17 truck.
Yep, 4 tires there for Judd Danielson. So maybe stage win important for him here tonight. He'll certainly have the best chance on the restart. He'll have the freshest tires, and his truck obviously not affected with any damage in that incident right there, Sam. So look for Danielson to have a bit of a rocket ship here on the restart.
All right, and hopefully our restart should be coming very shortly because all of the trucks were on the lead lap, and if Sagers can get the damage to his 26 machine repaired within the next 20 seconds or so, all 23 trucks will continue to be on the lead lap.
Sorry, Sam. I was laughing there. Chatty Matty wants to know if the British accent is fake or not.
Yeah, it's completely fake there, mate.
I do think that was, I agree with our director, I do think that was a first.
And it's when I try and do a fake American accent, people realize, yeah, I'm definitely British.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Like
I was going to ask you to do that, Sam. You stole my thunder. I was going to ask you to do your American accent real quick for everybody.
Well, if anyone really wants to, I have a video on YouTube of me impersonating Elvis Presley while playing iRacing. And yes, that's as cringe-worthy as it sounds, yes.
I seem to remember that, actually. I don't... Yeah, we'll pass on that.
I raced a pink Mazda Miata.
Oh, Sam, here we go down the long back stretch here.
Oh, yeah, we got a race going on.
Yeah, and it's almost time to get it cranked up again. The lights are out of the car.
And look at what William Davis just did. He was down low. He just decided to restart that pipe. So... two Williams on the front row here. William Davis goes to the high side. William Hartman in the 67 will restart down low. He started this race in 6th. He is now up to 2nd after we just saw Danielson coming to the pits under this first caution. 11 laps left to finish off the first stage. Oh boy, Hartman does not get going. That really stacks him up down low. Betty did not get going up high either, and this is an ugly restart here, Sean.
Not pretty, was it? Oh man, a lot of shuffling going on here.
Danielson trying to take advantage. He restarted 13th. He's already up to 11th with a nice run on Vorstedt for P10.
Seaman still struggling with the truck, Sam. He brushed it again. Once you do that, it becomes a bit of a magnet. He's going to have trouble handling that all night.
It's only lap number 15 that they just came around to complete. Davis leading, Hartman in 2nd, Eisenhower 3rd. Those three have broken up. Behind Feddy from 4th on back, they're all bunched up and probably a bit mixed up as well with the different tyre strategies. Some drivers getting out of place on that bad restart. Just look at Danielson using those 4 fresh tyres to make passes down low. Will he take it 3 wide? No.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Robert McFarland saw that momentum coming in his mirror. He said, yeah, I'm going to move down the track a little bit. The double-aught Chevrolet, they call him Outlaw. Well, the Outlaw has got the Bandit at his door. And here comes Danielson down the front stretch, and he is going to take that position. Danielson going to go up to 6th already, Sam. Knocking him down and putting him out there.
David Gervais was very slow coming off of turn 4, and they had to make it a 4 wide to avoid him and get around him. They all got sorted out by the time they got to turn 1, but a lot of wild stuff going on the restart, which was typical here at Michigan. Look at this pack. We've still got a tight pack over in turn 3. Michael Dillard at the front of it. Ray Richer on his high side. Mark McFadden. Ralph Borst right behind them.
Joe Johnson, his truck dancing all over the place. That's the number 18 back there at 14. Snodgrass getting by Vorst. Now it's 3 wide in the middle of the turn. Dullard stuck in the middle. Seaman on the outside. The 48, there he is. Mark McFadden. Him and Dullard. Man, Dullard just really having trouble hanging on to the truck.
Plenty of room to go 3 wide around here, though. And they're all able to continue for now, coming to 7 to go left in the stage. Meanwhile, we'll give you a Danielson update. He's made up to 4th now. In fact, about to take 3rd from Eisenhower.
He knows what time it is. Oh, and the caution's out. What? Oh!
Game 4th and Drayson Eisenhower spinning.
Yeah, it started with the 84, had trouble.
A lot of damage to the 101 of Game 4th.
Yeah, I think Danielson had trouble coming out of 4 here, Sam. We're catching it on the replay now, and boy, that's exactly what happened. Man, the truck, it bit on him. Here we go. Here's from up top here. You'll get a good view of what happens. I just think the dirty air is going to get the best of him here. No pun intended. But boy, got very, very loose and tries to correct it, try as he might. Not good enough. Spins in front of all of those trucks. Several just missing him as they got by.
Yes, that was Daniel Jackson who went for the spin, and then the significant contact was between Jeff Martin and David Gainforth as they were going through the grass. We're riding on board Martin, but let's ride on board Gainforth, actually, because he's the one who gets into the back of Martin pretty hard.
Yeah. Martin had to make an incredible save just to get away from it, Sam.
Yeah, meanwhile, as we come back live, our leaders are coming into the pits, but I don't think this is a stage end in yellow.
It is not. In fact, race control has already come on and said this is not the stage, So some guys obviously think maybe they can get to the front in a couple laps here. Or maybe they've just started just racing for the second stage.
So, the race off of pit road there, Eisenhower just edges Hartman off. Davis, who had been controlling the race, overshot his pit stalls. That's why he drops back there. These drivers are running 12th, 13th, and 14th right now.
A lot of trucks to get through, Sam. You know, then you've got the few that haven't taken any pit stops yet. We talk about Scott Seaman, Ray Richer, Steve Seegers hasn't stopped yet. I don't think Seegers has stopped, has he? No, Seegers did stop. Who else? David Gervais hasn't stopped either. So we've got 4 trucks here, kind of in the middle of things. It should provide an interesting sprint to the end of lap 25, Sam. I believe the lights have gone out on the pace car. They have no. Got ahead of myself. He just went across. There we go. Now I've looked at the lights and they are off.
All 23 trucks still showing on the lead lap, but David Gainforth is still one of those. But considering there was smoke coming out of his engine a little while ago, I can't imagine that that truck is in the best of health.
Daniel Jackson has brought his truck back down, and that could be just trying to get a little more damage repaired out of it. This is his 3rd stop.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jackson and Martin really got away okay, Sean. It was Gainforth who got hard into the back of Martin, right in the nose where all the good stuff is on the truck that I'm concerned about. So this is the second caution. The lights are off on the pace car. We're about to have a 4-lap shootout to end the stage. And all 23 trucks who started the race are still on the lead lap, but they are all on different strategies. And remember how we saw how even 10-lap-old tyres at the end of the first caution led to some ugly wheel spin at the front of the field on the restart. Will we see the same out of Danielson and Dullard this time? Danielson opting to restart up high.
Did you say wheel spin? Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, it's a good track. All right, here we go. 4 laps. Danielson doesn't get any wheel spin, and he gets a nice jump over the trucks behind him.
That looked a little more orderly that time. We're not all the way around yet.
It might as well be for Danielson. I have a feeling trucks on new tyres restarting back around 10th place will have a hard time catching him. If a caution does come out now, it would end the stage. They don't have to end the stage under green. Things looking kind of tame right now, but let's see what happens as they're going to turns 3 and 4, and the new tyres are going to play advantage. Adam Eisenhower making lots of moves back in the pack.
Sam, they're moving, and they're moving quick. And one of those trucks right now is William Davis. Davis has got himself into the clear here, put the competition behind him, now working on the next group, but no, watch out. He almost gets run over there by the 24. David Gervais coming from all the way back, trying to... Oh, and Gervais is in the wall. Woohoo! Does a great job of keeping it on the track. Close call for Mike Donahue in the 70.
Yeah, this is what William Davis is trying to get out of. Davis still, even though he's making moves, Sean, he's mired back there in 10th place. Adam Eisenhower has been flat out. He's in 5th, he's in 4th, he's looking for 3rd as he goes down the front straight in that 86 machine. Gonna take it easily. Less than 2 laps left to go in the stage. I don't think Eisenhower's got enough time to take a lead, but he might be able to get second from Dillon.
Man, still twitching around back here. Joe Johnson. Right in front of William Hartman. Hartman's got to have a lump in his throat right now.
Final lap of the stage about to begin with Judd Danielson holding less than a second lead over Adam Eisenhower. Eisenhower's back in 3rd. He's got to get around Dullard. My theory is he should be able to do that coming out of turn 2 here. And once again, I just don't think he has the time to be able to run down Danielson and win this stage. That pack of Hornets still is buzzing from 10th on back. And
there's a truck off.
They'll stay green. That's hard in the inside wall. There's Jeff Martin. And he's going to
tow Sam. Yep, sorry.
So Judd Danielson comes out of turn 4, and it's actually Michael Dullard behind him in 2nd. Eisenhower ran out of steam. He'll have to settle for 3rd ahead. It's maybe even not 3rd there. Yeah, he just got 3rd ahead of Carl Snodgrass, and it's Mark McFadden 5th. Steve Segers in 6th, behind them Joe Johnson, Robert McFarland, William Davis and Mike Donahue. But really unfortunate there, Sean, to see Jeff Martin spin into the wall.
Yeah, and he hit it hard, Sam. That truck not in good shape. He's going to be in trouble down there. We've got it on the replay here. And he's going to get checked up. You see them checking up in front of him, and the truck nips the wall there, sends him screaming across. He hits the end of that concrete barrier. That hurt. That hurt big time. Sam, Snodgrass. You know where Kyle Snodgrass started this race, Sam?
I do, because I have it on the stats in front of me, but if I didn't, I wouldn't know. Where did he start, Sean?
He started in 23rd. Sam, we started with 23 trucks today. Jeff Martin might be our first casualty. I don't know about that, but Kyle Snodgrass, 3rd there to finish the first segment. Not a bad run, I'd say.
Up 20 spots. Now, Adam Eisenhower actually showing in 4th right now, so he lost a spot to Carl Snodgrass at the end there. Do you think the reason we saw a difference in those 4 laps, Sean, is because Adam Eisenhower burnt his tyres off trying to win the stage, while William Davis was content just to ride back there in 10th, and William Davis has no intentions of pitting under this caution, and he'll be able to lead the race when we go back to green.
And Sam, a lot of trucks peeling off right now, coming back down here. Now we're gonna see a top off here. We're gonna see tires to try and win the stage. That's where I'm a little confused.
Well, the first stage is over. These drivers, though, less than 25 laps already and ticking off to finish stage number 2. Just 6 trucks stay out. Adam Eisenhower, Robert McFarland, William Davis, Kevin Feddy, Sean Callis, and Jason Eisenhower all still on the track. There's the other 16. Truck number 23, Jeff Martin, is no longer part of the race.
Okay, looks like Donahue just took fuel. Looks like the 70 might have just gone for fuel on that stop there, Sam. Everybody else took tires.
Yeah, Mike Donahue, as you mentioned, wins the race off of pit road. Certainly hasn't been running up in the top 5 so far. And one driver looking forward to this caution is David Gainforth, who can get a lot more repairs done on his 101 machine. David Gervais also in the pits for an extended amount of time, getting repairs to his 24 truck.
Yes, that's David Gervais, apparently not related to Ricky Gervais, as I was referring to him as Gervais earlier. I'm sorry, I won't do that again. It's David Gervais from the Mid-South. I did confirm. I went back and looked. Mike Donahue just playing fuel only on that stop. And so we'll see what Donahue's got left in the truck here as he'll restart the race in 7th, Sam. Maybe not a bad strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it might not work out for him now. He'll get freight trained by all these drivers, all these trucks on new tires on the restart here, but he'll have an extra set of tires in case he needs it later on. So we got clarification from the league administrators ahead of this race. For those of you who have followed this series, in the Challenger and the Cup Series divisions and wondered how they make the calls as to whether to throw the caution flag or not for an incident, the determination is whether, well, 90% of the time, I mean, there can be some exceptions to these rules, but if more than 2 cars are involved in the incident, then they go, and iRacing doesn't throw an automatic caution, then the administrators go ahead and throw a caution. And I think that's the reason why we didn't see a yellow there immediately when Jeff Martin went spinning on the back straight. It was a single car incident way off of the racing line.
Now, had Jeff Martin's truck, for those that are new to iRacing or watching a simulated race for the first time, if that truck were to come back up the track and across the bottom line, the white line there, and got back in what they call the racing line, then iRacing would have thrown a caution automatically there in that situation. But because Jeff's truck hit really hard and then just kind of felt dead in the infield there, or on the down under the white line, it didn't trigger that caution. And Sam, thanks for explaining that, because well, we do probably have a lot of people watching for the first time tonight, as this is GSRC's first broadcast here of the Simulation Speed Shop Truck Series, and we're looking forward to bringing you these last 9 races, as they now are real close tonight, and one more race, and Sam, then we are off to the playoffs. Yes, playoffs. And boy, I'm looking forward to being a part of that. We're going to have all 3 series here to take you all the way to the end here with the guys in the Ad Pro Challenger and Cup Series, and now the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series. And up on that front row is that Sim Speed Shop truck. We've got a couple Sim Speed Shop trucks out here tonight, but the man on the inside there is certainly the big one right now, that number 86 of Adam Eisenhower, truly a contender in this race tonight. Going to restart this with the double aught right there next to him, Sam.
Yep, that's Robert McFarland up on his high side. The lights off on the pace car. 70 laps left to go. 20 laps to the end of the stage. Nice restart by Eisenhower. McFarland, even with just a few laps on these tires, spun them. that's going to allow William Davis to move back up into second. Now, I'm curious here, Sean, with these two drivers up front. Did Eisenhower burn off his equipment trying to win that first stage? Will Davis be able to dispose of him in a couple of laps? Of course, we're also watching 7th on back to see how quickly these new tires can get through the field.
Well, there's brother Jason Eisenhower right now, side by side with Mike Donahue. Donahue keeping it close. There's the 80 down on the bottom of Kyle Snodgrass. Snodgrass started deep in this pack. There's the iRacing sponsored Toyota back there, the Michael Dullard. We've seen plenty of him already this evening. Judd Danielson moving back up here, and the 67 of William Hartman.
I'd say it looks like actually right now Dullard has the advantage of drivers on new tyres, but because their tyres are only about 4 laps fresher than the trucks in front of them, they're struggling to make their way back up into the top 6.
Boy, a really good battle going back even a little bit further, Sam, as they battle for 11th. McFadden has the lead on everybody, but man, they are stacked up behind him. Snodgrass, Ray Richard, the 18 going all the way to the bottom, down onto the apron. Joe Johnson down there. They're going to make it 3 wide. Sam. Steve Seeger's up top, trying to take the lighter way around there. Be a little easier on the tires. The 44 of Ray Richard trying to stick it in there and make it 4 wide. Jeezels.
Yeah, Richard kind of backed out of that one. Maybe he had to because of all the dirty air being thrown in front of his number 44 machine. These new tyres really not having the impression I thought they would have, Sean. I guess it is because they were so much less new than what our top 6 were on.
Yeah, I think so, Sam. I think you kind of hit on it there. Man, I talked about pack racing in the pre-race. I don't mind it when it's like this. These trucks are dancing all over the place, Sam, and positions keep changing. Snodgrass there in the 80, man. He has picked up a lot of spots. It's still competitive here in the middle of the field. Ray Richard looks to the bottom again, and it's just not there. And here comes the 18 of Joe Johnson again. Johnson making another run at it.
Snodgrass did not turn a lap during qualifying, and that's why he started at the back. But even his fastest practice time would have had him start at the back of the field. So definitely, I don't know if you'd call it sandbagging, but his practice and qualifying time's definitely not indicative of what he can do during this race, rather than having a solid performance so far.
We're back on this battle here with Dullard now. He's behind Callis and Hartman. Hartman just getting by Callis. I followed Callis a bit the other night when I was racing with these guys here at Michigan in the practice race. Got a little tired of looking at that orange rear deck of that truck with the SK on it. I couldn't get around him, though. Dullard's trying it. He looks to the inside. Hartman ran up the track just in front of me. He kind of had to get out of it a bit, try not to get in the wash. They're side by side, Callis and Dullard.
Still several side-by-side battles going on while the tyres are still relatively fresh. Earlier on in this round, we saw at the start of this race how after about 10 laps or so, things started to get spread out. All of these drivers trying to take as much advantage as they can of this fresh rubber. Included in that is our P2 driver, William Davis, who has now worked right up to the rear bump of Adam Eisenhower, our race leader.
Thought he was going to give him the business there for a minute. I think these two are going to get out of here and ride. They're going to try and get this lead stretched out over McFarland. They've almost dropped into a second. There's safety in numbers here, and there's also good driving in the clean air. As sure as I say that, here comes Davis looking to the inside, Sam. Going to try and take this away from Adam Eisenhower.
Side by side across the line as they complete lap number 37 with Davis half a car length in front. That's 2/100ths of a second according to the stopwatch. And William Davis, who had a bad pit stop earlier after overshooting his pit stall, well, he has now worked his way back up to the lead.
Well, I know the William Davis fans out there will be happy to see that Dirty Air Studios truck back up in the lead of the race. CCR Racing.
And William Hartman just had a way overlap. He started it in 5th place and quietly just manoeuvred his way up into 3rd.
Hartman being pretty brave with the truck right now, but he's got clean air in front of him. He's able to get it to turn a lot easier. You see how badly McFarland struggling behind him. Every time McFarland is able to get to the rear bumper there in the 67, once they get to the turn, it's gone. He's got to back up that entry a lot sooner so he doesn't stay in the wash.
Things getting dicey from 9th on back. You may have seen it there at the top of your screen. Mike Donahue, who's on that fuel-only strategy, has Jason Eisenhower, Joe Johnson, Mark McFadden, Carl Snodgrass, Jeremy Crandall, and Ray Richter all over the back of him.
Yeah, that is an angry pack of Detroit muscle in his mirror right now, and he is. I like the line he's running, to be honest with you, and right now it seems to be safe. Joe Johnson going to get a run at him, but I don't think he's going to be able to pass him. The 70 just seems to be really hooked up right now. I would almost guess that Mike Donahue has found that special line, Sam.
Yeah, the problem is Sean Callis, running in 8th, seems to have found something slightly more special, pulling away from him. Shout out to Callis, by the way. He started back in 18th, has gained 10 spots this race. But here goes Joe Johnson going by Mike Donahue for 9th.
Yeah, and a little surprised that he was actually able to do that. I didn't think anybody would be able to get the run down there on the bottom, at least deep into the run on the tires right now, but Joe Johnson made a liar out of me. Boy, and the 36 struggled. Jason Eisenhower got really, really tight off of turn 2, Sam. Well, look at him drop. Wow.
Yes, losing in multiple positions. They just freight trained him up high there. And so he started this lap in 11th, drops back to 15th. And that's the problem when the trucks are so tightly packed together. If you make a mistake, even if you don't cause a wreck, a lot of drivers are right there to take advantage of it.
Another battle for 10th. Now it's Donahue trying not to give up the position. And there's Mark McFadden down into turn 1. McFadden going to keep it low. Donahue just keeping it up there to take care of the tires, Sam.
Yeah,
and a battle erupted for 4th. Sorry. Let's go up there.
Kevin Fetty by Robert McFarland. Let's remember, William Hartman just got by McFarland recently, so it looks like 00 is dropping back a bit in the closing 8 laps of this stage.
Did you say 8? Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, boy, Donahue was loose out of 4. He had a little bit of help. He had Jeremy Crandall draped all over the bumper. Ooh, it was a nice save by Mike Donahue. Give that man a cigar.
So Snodgrass poking his nose out in front, pulls ahead of Donahue temporarily until the 70 does a crossover. The problem is for these drivers now, Sean, this is for 11th on back, and maybe that's why they're getting a bit intense. They want those stage points.
Boy, Donahue backed out quite early, and boy, Jeremy Crandall drove it in there a lot deeper. That got a little scary. I don't think we could have gotten a sheet of paper in between those 2 doors there, in between 3 and 4. Donahue's still hanging out here on the bottom right now. He's moved down there here over the past couple laps.
Meanwhile, another battle shaking up in the last few laps, and it's right at the front of the field here. With 6.5 laps left to go to the end of the stage. Davis, Eisenhower, Hartman, all nose to tail. And here goes Hartman looking for second. Sean, I think William Hartman has definitely been one of the more impressive drivers at the end of this stage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The way he's continued to drive up through the field. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that he just caught these two. They were in the process of checking out on everybody.
Can't find a way by Adam Eisenhower, though. That allows William Davis to pull away a bit.
Sam, back here, it's still crazy. Kyle Snodgrass in the 80. He's been in the wall a few times now. Right next to Scott Seaman, finally able to clear him. Now he's getting a run there at Eisenhower. Jason Eisenhower had to back off, almost got into the bumper. They had a really close moment about a lap and a half ago where we were watching that battle. For a second, they were hard. But man, it has just continued to be crazy. And then at the front of this pack back here, you've still got Ray Richer and Mike Donahue going at it. And Donahue back to his favorite line up top there. And again, I think that's just all about saving tires, Sam. It's really the preferred line if you want to try and get to the end of a run. Only 4 laps to go here for these guys.
Yeah, don't have to save a lot of tyres now. Hartman has made a move stick. He used the low line and was able to complete the pass for second place on Adam Eisenhower. Can he run down and pass William Davis in the next 8 miles? Judging by the way Davis was defensively trying to break the slipstream down on the front there. And look at the run Hartman gets on the edge of the turn. It's going to hurt him on the exit, though. So, he'll try and regroup and do something again in turns 3 and 4. Coming to 3 laps left to go in the stage. Davis, Hartman, Eisenhower, Fetty running all on his own in 4th, and you got Dullard, Danielson, Johnson just got by McFarland for 7th. McFarland has really dropped far back now, back in 8th. McFadden, and then the good battle for 10th going on.
Excellent battle for 10th going on right now. Richard, Callis, and nobody can decide who wants it here, Sam.
I think they both won it. Can they both have 10th place, Sean?
No, they can't, Sam. But I'll tell you what, I think Mike Donahue still can.
Must be said, all 22 trucks still in the race are still on the lead lap. Rusco, Daniel Jackson, and David Aimforth have lost the draft because of their damage, but they're still in contention if things get wild in the closing stages. Things could be getting wild now. You see once again Davis trying to break the draft to William Hartman in 2nd.
Yeah, I think William is up in the saddle right now, Sam. Oh, and he got a little loose off there. He had to correct it. That rear end got very, very light on that truck.
Coming to start the final lap of stage 2, and no, we're not. The caution flies for an incident back straight for Scott Seaman.
Yeah, Seaman got loose, I think, off of 2. Might have had a little bit of help. We'll look at it here on the replay. No, there wasn't any help. That truck was just loose, way loose. He he just couldn't get it straightened out enough. Slight contact with the wall, but Sam, that is going to complete the stage. There's Seaman in the 99. And he's just going to drift.
Second incident that Seaman's been involved in today. Fortunately, I think he's been able to escape both without damage.
Yeah, Sam, just a little bit on the rear of the truck from where he made that brief bit of contact. Well, no, I don't see any actually. No, his damage is on the front of the truck, and that's from earlier. But he didn't hit it there.
Yeah, you did see a bit of contact from trucks avoiding him, but they should just be able to pull out those fenders. All right, as we rejoin live action here, everyone's going to be in the pit. Sean, the order they're coming in is Davis, Hartman, Eisenhower, and Fetty. Dullard. How will they come off?
It's going to be a great battle to watch. Our director is going to keep us focused on it. We have a little drag race, good old-fashioned drag race to the exit line.
make sure they all hit their marks. Davis missed his earlier, but he gets it this time.
Who's going to get out of here first?
William Davis by a country mile.
Boy, it sure was. Good stuff.
Top three remain the same. They're going to do a couple more laps under caution, so we're going to take a quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'll be back for the restart and for the final stage here at Michigan International Speedway. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 200 here at the Michigan International Speedway. And July 25th, 2018 will always be known as the day of the inaugural broadcast here on the GSRC of the SSCA Sim Speed Shop Truck Series. July 25th, what does that mean to you, Sean? I think a lot happens on this day. 5 months till Christmas.
Why did you have to bring that up? Jeez. What else happened on July 20th? This day in history brought to you by Samuel Ryman.
Yeah, 1987, my parents got married. Happy anniversary, Mum and Dad. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Our director's wife is having a birthday.
Kaylee Peak, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mrs. Peak. How old is she, Sean?
I'm not. No comment. You never talk about a lady's age. No. Happy birthday, Kaylee.
All right, we will give you an update on the order, but it's very similar to what it was when they came down pit road. So Davis, Hartman, Eisenhower, and Feddy bring them back to green. Davis in control of the field. 47 laps left to go. They do have to make one more pit stop for fuel, even if we go green to the end, Sean.
Yeah, they're going to need one more stop to get this race done. And so look for a lot of give and take. Maybe, boy, Fetty really struggling back there.
I think he was kind of taking a bit of evasive action.
Yeah, I think Joe Johnson made him a little bit nervous there, Sam.
Yeah, how about Joe Johnson? Started 13th, he's up into 5th. Remember, he's one of the drivers on the bubble trying to make his way into the playoffs. Russ Coe in the pits. Oh, there was an incident on the back straight last lap around. Coe, though, was the only driver really involved, so they kept down the green, but that 420 machine, some damage.
Sam, I went back and looked at it, and I got to be honest with you, Coe's truck started to drift down the track a little bit, and it was right in front of Scott Seaman, and he made contact with Seaman. Seaman keeps racing. Coe, though, goes down and hits that bottom wall, and that truck's hurt.
So then there were 21. Who is in position number 1? Well, right now it's William Davis, but let's not forget, Hartman was trying to run him down at the end of stage 2. He's right there now, but he doesn't have a tyre advantage. And meanwhile, at the back of the field, Scott Seaman comes down into the pits for repairs as well.
Yeah, that truck needs a little bit of help. Oh, Sam, I totally forgot July 25th. You know what? There was something else. Another anniversary. They share it with your mom and dad, Gary Sexton and his wife, the Grand Poobah of the Ad Pro Challenger Cup and SS Truck Series. Triple S, there we go. But yeah, it's his anniversary too. I believe it's his first or second.
Well, happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Sexton.
Yeah, instructions were I am not to be bothered for any circumstance. So thanks to Ryan Hill for running the show this evening. Sam, it's still a thick battle here. Midfield, Richard digging all over the bumper of Mike Donahue, and then just behind them, we are looking at the lead here. Hartman trying to pull off this pass on Davis.
Oh, that was close to contact. Davis still has it. Hartman knows early on in the stage right here is the easiest time to make a move with these fresher tyres, but I almost wonder if he can't get it done, Sean, if maybe he should back off and try and save the tyres a bit.
Well, we know this. You're going to need one more stop to get this done. You still have a lot of laps to knock out here. You probably want to save tires at some point. Now's probably not a bad time. What I really would like to do is pull away from the rest of the pack because, Sam, unlike the rest of the restarts, these guys are close and they're not playing around. They are hungry. They smell blood in the water. Danielson right now trying to maybe get around Adam Eisenhower. Just abbreviated his name for him there.
Now, Sean, we didn't take a close look really at our race details. I mean, I know we've already knocked off the 2 stages here, but we might as well bring those up because it's interesting to take a look at what our fuel window is.
Yeah, Sam, I think we'll talk about the fuel window. It's gonna be about 30 to 32 laps. I can't use my experience running the other night getting on a full run, and honestly, I couldn't have pushed it any more than 31. I didn't ride in a lot of draft, but I still think your window is somewhere there in the 30 to 32. And Sam, these guys aren't even close to that yet. But do you do the early pill, late reveal? Come in early and then have something for the end. I don't know. We'll see. But again, there are positions still being jockeyed around this track. Fetty just got around Deller to take over 6th place.
Well, this is a track where you can get away with that strategy as we see the battle for the lead brewing again of short pitting, considering I don't quite think you're going to go a lap down. Davis continues to hold the lead ahead of Hartman. Mind you, the way Davis and Hartman are gapping the rest of the field, looks like everyone else may run the risk of going a lap down if they try and short pit.
Well, you know, the competition is so close tonight. I think you're either going to have to do something unique or you're going to have to play follow the leader. Here we go. Can Hartman get it this time? No, he can't.
Well, he's got that high side. He's going to try and use that. Look how close. That was very interesting what Hartman did there. He got right down on Davis in the middle of a turn and try and make Davis loose and not get as good of a run on the exit. Hartman trying to be aggressive. He really wants to get this done.
Yeah, and Davis knew he had to get out of the throttle just a little bit so the car didn't run up the track.
Gonna try the crossover. The two Williams. Hartman in the 67. He'll lead this lap, but that's not really what he wants. He wants to lead the race, no questions asked. He almost has it complete. He's in front, but what can Davis do on the exit? Looks down low. I think Hartman could have pulled this off, Sean.
Boy, really battling so close. You got to be careful here because here comes Adam Eisenhower. That third truck could make this pretty interesting here real quick. On board with Ike. Giving that great shot right over the front hood.
But now that these two have stopped switching positions, can they pull away again, maybe try and distance themselves from Eisenhower again? I'm not sure they can. Eisenhower has a nice tow off of the 11 truck here. And while Davis and Hartman have been battling like that, they've been burning their tyres off, whereas Eisenhower's been able to take care of his back there.
And do you see what Eisenhower's doing? You can see it on that hood cam. Is where he's putting the truck when he gets behind. When he gets behind William Davis going into the turns, he's offsetting that truck, so he's getting downforce on the nose of the truck, hence avoiding that thing running up the track and honestly saving those tires just a bit.
You also saw Davis brush the wall a little bit coming out of turn 4 last time by that sand and caution.
Oh yeah, I think it Mark McFadden contact with the 24 does not go well. Oh, man. The 24, David Gervais. That truck, the 24, been in the wall a couple times, unfortunately. They just fighting for the same piece of real estate there, and they're just going to get a little too close to each other. Here it is on the replay.
And how many times have we seen this at Michigan, Sean? The caution flying right before you can make it to the end on fuel.
All right, Sam, I've got some good news for these drivers. I still think you'll be okay. I think you could fill here. Just based on a number of caution laps we got in, I still think you could probably fill here and make it. It's going to be close, and you may have to try a little bit of throttle management towards the end, but if you want to take your chances and come in now, I think you'll be okay to the finish. I say I think because I don't want to be proven wrong at the end. You know what I mean? Sam, I did finish 5th the other night, by the way, when I practiced with him in the 50 lapper. So,
how many trucks finished?
Well, I think only 9 of us started, and I think 7 of us finished. Or no, I'm sorry, 6 of us finished, and I finished 5th. So I tried. Okay.
Here come all the leaders except for Danielson and Dullard. The same 2 drivers, I think, who were trying an alternate strategy earlier.
I think Donahue might have made contact with Ray Richer right in front of him. and actually picked up a little bit of damage on the nose of his truck because of it. They got really stacked up coming in. Well, Sam, who wins it? William Davis, left sides are up. He's down and he's away. And oh, look at that. Just by William Davis goes William Hartman. Hartman back out first.
So the same way they came in, kudos to Judd Danielson and Michael Dullard for trying something different. I'm just not entirely sure it's going to work, Sean, unless they're going to pit later under this caution and use the extra 1 or 2 laps that they're saving now to their advantage at the end of a race.
Sam? I think a few of these guys aren't planning on another yellow flag and running this thing green to checkers. I will say this about Hartman. He did save a little bit of time in the pit stop. I'm thinking maybe there was a short fill there involved. Maybe he only took exactly what he needed. But he did knock off, 2 seconds in the stop itself. I realize we're splitting hairs here, but it did get him out first. He's going to be right here behind Danielson and Michael Dullard to get started.
Well,
these 2 are the only ones who stayed out, Sam. And I almost wonder if they're going to wait and come in the next time we come around. They're going to run it out as long as they can here until they know they're in the window.
I agree with that, Sean, but the other potential strategy is if there is another caution with, say, 15 laps to go or not, many of those trucks that just pit, they don't have any tires left.
No, only a few of them. It looks like William Davis, Adam Eisenhower, Kevin Fetty, Joe Johnson, all may still have, they do. Robert McFarland with another set left. They've only had 3 stops. So there are a handful of drivers still on just what we believe is that 3rd set of tires right now, or the 4th set. See guys down there on the apron, Sam, you know what they're doing, right?
They're cooling their tires because there's no hot rubber burnt up around the track.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that. They're saving fuel, which does surprise me a little bit. Danielson and Dullard decide to stay out there.
Kevin Fetty doesn't. Kevin Fetty is coming in and getting it topped off. But then my question is, if you were Kevin Fetty, why didn't you try and stay out on track at the start of a caution and lead a lap?
Good point.
I honestly don't have it in my notes if he was in front or behind Danielson at the time of caution. I know they've been on track quite closely for most of the day. Anyway, what I do know is the pace car lights are off, and we're about to have 31 laps to go until the end. And if you research the history of Michigan International Speedway, it would tell you we're not going to see another caution, because it always comes down to fuel mileage here.
Boy, it certainly does. And Sam, I think a few guys are gambling with that here right now. But the biggest gamblers are the 2 at the front right now, and Judd Danielson and Michael Dullard having to restart on these older tires.
Danielson and Dullard, I have a feeling, will get 8 and up here on this restart, but that's not the game they're playing. They're going to try and hope for a late caution that they can get 4 fresh Goodyears on and try and be the aggressors at the end of the race. A nice restart by Danielson, not so by Dullard, Davis quickly up into second. Hartman looking for third too, and those two should soon be fighting for the lead again. Wow, and nicely done on the inside by Hartman. He's easily able to get by Davis.
Look at the run Eisenhower's got, though. Jeez, here he comes.
I say that Davis is going to counter-attack against Hartman here. He knows what's up. But one of them's going to get stuck by Danielson in turns 3 and 4, or maybe not. They're going to go 3 wide underneath him.
You sure there's not going to be another caution?
So Davis and Hartman, less than 200ths of a second, covered them across the line. Could Eisenhower be sitting in the catbird seat, saving fuel, drafting behind them as these two squabble for the top position with less than 30 laps to go? Meanwhile, Danielson already back and forth, getting past from the left by Joe Johnson, Robert McFarlane, Mike Donahue will soon get by him too.
Sam, it's still a mess back here. One thing is constant. It's been Mike Donahue tonight. He has been in the middle of it all. That's the red truck in the middle there. He's running that classic Miller scheme there. Old Bobby Allison paint scheme on that truck.
Adam Eisenhower wants to put his name back in this, so I was wondering if he'd be content just to save fuel in third, but he stuck a nose underneath William Davis for second place in turn 1. Didn't do anything, no, other than that. "19 trucks still in contention, still on the lead lap. Leading them all around right now, William Hartman. Davis still all over the back of him.
Gotta be honest, Sam, they got me on pins and needles just a bit here. I almost feel like there's a ticking time bomb on track somewhere. I just don't know where it's at.
Well, the good news for those who were concerned about Danielson and Duller being on old tires is they've pretty much dropped to the back where things are single file, where it's calm there, so no one should run over anyone with that regards. I think where we're going to see the danger is where there's a lot of aggressive side-by-side racing going on in the final 20 laps, and there's no more aggressive racing on track right now than what we're seeing up here, these top three squabbling for the lead. Hartman all over the back of Davis. Davis going to defend to the inside. I was almost wondering if Hartman was going to give him a bit of a bump down there on the back straight.
Sam, it really is the best battle. I mean, it's still, we have a lot of drivers trying to get one position or a couple, but this is the real focus up front, man. Davis playing defense up there like the 85 Chicago Bears. He is just not letting anything through. Hartman keeps just making attempt after attempt, but 20 when they come around to the flag, we're going to have 25 laps to go. You've got to think that some of these drivers got to start thinking about their long game here, where they want to be if a caution flag comes out late in this race.
Good battle for fourth still going on between Joe Johnson and Robert McFarland. Let's talk about the three championship scenarios for these top three. Well, William Davis doesn't compete for points in this division. William Hartman does. He already has 3 wins to the series. He would like to earn more playoff points for the fourth one today. And Adam Eisenhower back there, likewise, just out here racing for the win. He's not a championship contender in this division. Although it must be said, Adam Eisenhower's won 2 out of the last 3 SSCA Truck Series races.
Yeah, Sam, and the way to difference to tell the difference between the guys running for points and the guys that aren't running for points is the windshield banners. everybody running different colors. The black one is for. Help me out here, Sam.
The black one's not points. White one,
Right,
like you see on Hartman there in second, he is running for points.
Right, correct. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So if you got a white windshield banner, you're in the points. Oh, what did you see, Sam?
Steve Segger's in the wall coming out of turn 2, and David Gervais is easily able to drive around him.
Yeah, poor Gervais has had enough trouble himself already. That was a close one because, well, bit of a tank slapper there for Seegers as he came out of the turn.
All right, so things have calmed down a little bit, except for 4th, 5th, and 6th. 5th and 6th, actually, and Mike Donoghue and Joe Johnson. I believe they were rubbing fenders as they shot off into turn 1 this time by. But here's the thing, Sean. We're still seeing some aggressive racing out there.
Yeah.
I would have a feeling if they were all concerned about fuel, we wouldn't have seen them racing as hard as what they are right now.
Agreed, Sam. I think the guys that are following feel safe because they know they're in the tow a little bit and by nature are saving just a little bit of fuel. Like I said, that window was really, really close. I've got to think at what I talked about on that last caution. I think they're going to be okay. And the real indicator is that they're driving flat out right now. So I don't think anybody really concerned about the fuel they have left on board at this point. Maybe a few of the guys at the back, like Danielson and Dullard, still need to make stops, but they're back in 16th and 17th now.
5th place is one of the most hardest battles on the track we're seeing right here, with Joe Johnson, Mike Donoghue currently fighting over it. Ralph Vorster has been running at the back of a pack all day long, now finds himself up in 7th when it counts.
Yeah, you know what? His Chevrolet has been good. He had a little bit of trouble early, Sam, but listen, Ralph started all the way back in 19th, man, and the Line Workers Program Chevrolet looking pretty good out there tonight.
20 laps left to go when William Davis comes across the line this time by. There's 40 miles left here. Who knows it? And there's contact for the lead. William Davis saves it. Adam Eisenhower going to try and capitalize on it and go from 3rd to 1st. Hartman gone to the back of Davis in turns 3 and 4. Davis got sideways, collected it, but as a result, the top 3 all switch around.
Yeah, there was nothing fun about that at all. Sam, that was awful close. Wait, let's pick it up on the replay, actually.
Eisenhower's temporarily taken the lead. Hartman might try and get it back, but you'll see here in turn 3 and 4, just a little bit of contact almost sends Davis into the grass.
It didn't take much. What a great job by Davis, though. And Eisenhower, for that matter. I mean, they both got checked up, and then Eisenhower has to make a split-second decision to get through. Sam, when we come back live, we got to go back to Mike Donoghue. We've been well documented, his race so far. He had a scary moment about a lap ago, coming off a turn. Was it turn 4 or turn 2? But man, he almost.
But I'll take that back, Sean. They're fighting hard for the lead because William Hartman was all the way down on the inside of Eisenhower on the front straight. Tried to make a move, stick down low in turns 1 and 2. Didn't work, though. Eisenhower holds on to it.
Almost feel like this is a multi-class race right now, Sam, with all the action going on here. Under 20 to go. Everybody has turned up the wick just as high as they can get it right now.
William Davis has been running all the way on down on the apron on the front straight. I don't know if that's his racing line or if that's just the shortest way around and he knows he still needs to save a bit of fuel.
Well, I mean, if he has to save a bit of fuel, so does everybody else that he's racing right now, Sam, because they all came in at the same time. Hartman was the one that had the shorter stop by almost 2 seconds. I don't know, man. I think maybe Davis might have abused that truck a little bit, and I think he's had to back off a bit in order to maybe save himself here for a run late. Boy, but they are starting to pull away there, aren't they, Sam?
Yeah, top three have opened up 3 seconds over the battle, fourth on back. And then fourth all the way back to 11th, only covered by 2 seconds. Still a lot to play for back there.
Yeah, play they will.
Mounting the challenge for the lead again comes Hartman. Got a nice run off of 4. He's underneath Eisenhower. This is what it looked like a few laps ago, Sean, as we were coming back from that replay. But it didn't work for Hartman. He's just not able to complete the pass down low there in turns 1 and 2, or at least he wasn't last time. See if he gets more luckier this time. Meanwhile, bad news for Judd Danielson fans. Remember, he didn't pit under that last caution. He has been forced to come in for fuel.
Yeah, and that wound up being a 34-lap run for him, but then you got to add in the laps they were under caution and helped them get that far to begin with. Sam, they are still going at it up front. Eisenhower still trying to defend his position. Across the line, they give it to Eisenhower, but here comes Hartman. And he's got to back out of it because he knows if he stays in it, he'll wind up in the door of Adam Eisenhower.
Michael Dillard also coming into the pits for fuel. 14 laps left to go when these two cross the line. If they cross the line there, a couple of times it's been questionable watching this intense racing up front, and as it goes through turns 3 and 4, once again, that high line, I think, should be able to pay off for Eisenhower. Hartman will try and beat him to the stripe, but no, the 86 has it. This is great news for William Davis, Sean. It will allow him to run back down, because ever since he had that drift, Davis has never really recovered. He's kind of just running on his own in third.
Well, these two continue to push their equipment, Sam. Davis sits back there and licks his chops. He knows he's going to have another chance to fight here.
Yeah, I can't imagine that minor contact we saw. Oh, and Eisenhower got a piece of wall coming off of 4. I'll give the lead to Hartman for now. I can't imagine any of these incidents so have upset the trucks too much. I mean, I know this is an aerodynamically dependent track, but it looks like it's been very light knocks we've been seeing around the circuit.
Yeah, most of the trucks, sans the ones that are in the pits, and Danielson and Dullard have picked up significant damage. Most of the guys with a little bit of damage have been able to roll just fine. I think where we've seen a lot of the trouble tonight is overtaking, and not whether your truck is bent or straight, it has not seemed to want to pass real well. As we watch this battle for 7th, there's Ray Richer and Sean Callis, both drivers who've been up through the field. It's the 44 and the 43.
Nice battle between 3 trucks for 9th place going on behind them, between Ralph Forster, Jason Eisenhower and Jeremy Crandall. Who knows if these drivers are saving a bit more fuel than the leaders, and if fuel is a concern, maybe these drivers could be up there fighting for top 5 later on. And this changes everything. Around goes Crandall.
Yep, Crandall goes around. It didn't start with Crandall though. It's Crandall that gets around, but Sam, I think they were trying to avoid the truck that got in the wall there off of turn 2. That was Ralph Vorst. You see him in front there as we roll through this replay. He gets in. Eisenhower has to check up, come across, and then Jeremy Crandall was the unlucky one in all of that, as he picks up significant damage and definitely going to have to bring that truck down in the pit. On board with Eisenhower here, Sam.
Right on board here now. Of course, there are a few trucks left on the lead lap who do still have another set of tyres. So once we watch this replay here, let's keep an eye on pit road. Things
Ding,
could
ding,
get
ding.
interesting.
Ding, ding, ding. And we saved those tires. Why? Because we knew we might have a chance with a late caution flag. Sam, I think we might have talked about that earlier on tonight.
I've got to imagine if you don't have a set of tires, you shouldn't need to splash of fuel now. So the only drivers we should see coming into the pits are those who need tires, and William Hartman has got to be feeling lonely. Eisenhower leading, Davis and McFarland in. What order will they come off?
A lot of takers. A lot of takers.
Yeah, the only lead lap trucks I'm seeing that stayed out were William Hartman and Carl Snodgrass. Judd Danielson and Michael Duller did too, but they're a lap down, of course. So Eisenhower wins the race off a pit road ahead of Davis and McFarland the way they came in. I gotta imagine Hartman is going to be a sitting duck for the final restart here. We'll find out in a couple of laps here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the restart.
The British accent is gone, and we are back here at Michigan International Speedway for the restart, which might hopefully be the last restart here in the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 200. The cars coming around now out of turn 2, getting ready to make their way down the backstretch here. We've seen a great race. Sam is off to jump in the cockpit of his IR-18 tonight with Lionheart IndyCar Series. which you can catch immediately following this race. Don't anybody go over there yet. It hasn't started. I promise you, okay? And, well, you can miss the pre-race show. You tell Soup and Richie I said it's okay. So, here we go. Ready to get restarted. It's going to be William Hartman and Kyle Snodgrass. Both drivers electing not to come in. Hartman has decided to go to the top line. He's going to have Adam Eisenhower and Will Davis right behind him, both on fresh tires. Heck, most of the field has fresh tires behind them right now. It's going to be 7 laps to get it done here tonight at Michigan. Who's going to do it? William Hartman's going to lead him off, and Hartman goes. The green is out. Hartman on the hammer across the line. He owns the first spot in this race. Davis already up to second. Snodgrass hanging on to third. Adam Eisenhower in fourth. Joe Johnson back there in fifth. They're scrambling throughout the field to find a spot to get into. Oh, and up the track there. Boy, it's trouble for Joe Johnson. And the 67 of William Hartman. Trouble for him. He's already lost that spot. William Davis, Adam Eisenhower go to the front. Here comes the 18 of Joe Johnson. He gathered things back up. He has now got himself here into the top 3. 6 laps to go at the line. Eisenhower's truck running all the way up the track. William Davis keeping it nice and tidy down there on the apron. Eisenhower drops in, tries to get a run at him. Not there. Is he going to try and cross him over here in the turn? No. Eisenhower looking for grip. Hard to find it right there when you're in the wash of the truck in front of you. William Davis keeping it strong. We're on board with Joe Johnson. Got that popcorn position back there enjoying the race. Got to see if he's got anything for these guys. There has been a penalty issued. I'm trying to pick up who that was. But the battle up front, Will Davis goes back to the point. Now Joe Johnson back there starting to close in just a bit. 5 laps to go. A battle for fourth is hot. McFarland, Callis still on track next to each other. Donahue able to hang out there in 6th and watch all this in front of him. Davis still our leader. Eisenhower is still chasing. These positions back here still not settled though. Callis holds on to 4th. McFarland drops off just a bit. They come across the line. 4 laps to go. The leaders still slugging it out. Here in Michigan International Speedway, sitting in the Irish Hills. Boxing gloves on. William Davis, Adam Eisenhower. Joe Johnson looking for his opportunity to get in to win this race. Joe Johnson out there racing for those points. A win would look good in the column for him. Don't know if we'll have a green-white checker tonight. This one's looking pretty mean, pretty green. 3 laps to go. William Davis still defending against Adam Eisenhower. Dropping down to the apron, trying to just get all the speed out of that truck he can. That Toyota drifts right up in front of Eisenhower. Eisenhower, all he can do is keep his foot in it and just try and continue to put the pressure on. Joe Johnson, I'd love to see him catch up, but he seems to be losing touch just a bit. Maybe he's putting himself in a position to make one last run at it, but boy, when they'll come around, it'll be 2 to go. He's going to run out of time and run out of track. Adam Eisenhower, not running out of anything, trying to run into victory lane. William Davis has got something to say about it. He continues to go back down to the apron here on the front stretch and drift right back up in front of Eisenhower. That was a close moment. We'll stay on this to the end. Here comes William Davis now. He's trying to get to the white flag first. Eisenhower looks to the top to try and make a move. Davis can move up the track just so much. He's there. Doesn't want to get into Eisenhower. Oh, and they do it in contact. Eisenhower pushed up the track. A bit of a hip check there from Will Davis. Open opportunity for Joe Johnson. Here he comes. Eisenhower slow. William Davis is going to take the white flag. Eisenhower now under threat from Joe Johnson. Will Davis has got this thing. He's just got to keep it in the gray. Keep his foot in it. Here comes Eisenhower. He's charging, but I think it's too much too late. He can't get enough of a toe down the back straight. I don't think Joe Johnson's going to be able to get a toe either. 1, 2, 3. Here they go. Davis, Eisenhower, and Johnson into 3. Davis looking for the win in the number 11 Toyota Dirty Air Studios machine. Here comes this truck barreling down the front straightaway. William Davis is the winner of the Top Shelf Detailing 200 tonight here at Michigan. A great inaugural run with the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Man, what a battle. Donahue's going to manage to come home in 5th. What a run by Donahue tonight all over the field. Sean Callist, one of the big movers all night. He picks up 12 spots, finishes 6th. But right now, everybody has come across the line, and I think we are going to, there's our going for a victory spin there, our winner, William Davis. Real quick, we're going to take a break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'll be right back with the results and some interviews in just a moment. And we're back here for the Top Shelf 200, Top Shelf Auto Detailing 200 at Michigan International Speedway. You know, folks, you just got finished watching our first broadcast with the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series here on GSRC. And we are so happy, so thrilled to bring you these last 9 remaining races. And, well, number 9 just wrapped up. And let's look at the results now. William Davis, our big winner tonight, gets into it with Adam Eisenhower in the closing laps and prevails. Eisenhower will take 2nd. Joe Johnson, what a run by him tonight. He'll finish 3rd. Robert McFarland with a big 4th place tonight. Mike Donahue finishing 5th. Sean Callis coming all the way up from 18th to finish 6th tonight. Ray Richer, he'll have a decent run and finish 7th. Kevin Fetty, he was the man to watch all night, but unfortunately, boy, the racing gods just weren't with him. They were fighting him all night. He finishes 8th. Steve Seegers, a 9th place finish for him. 10th going to go to Daniel Jackson. Judd Danielson, what could have been for that Toyota this evening, will wind up in 11th. 12th going to go to Jeremy Crandall. Crandall started 22nd tonight, so a good night for Crandall, just hanging in there. David Gervais obviously had some trouble, but he did improve 8 spots and finish 13th. Jason Eisenhower, Adam's brother, he'll finish 14th and pick up a spot from where he started. David gained 4th, 15th for him. Ralph Forrest, 16th. William Hartman, tough night for William. 17th place. Kyle Snodgrass, 18th. Michael Dullard, 19th. And boy, Michael had a good run at several points in this race. But boy, that is a hard luck finish for him after starting in fifth place this evening. 20th going to go to Mark McFadden. 21st, Scott Seaman. 22nd, Russ Coe. And 23rd is going to go to Jeff Martin. Now it's time to talk to our winner. And we caught up with Will Davis down in Victory Lane. Will, congratulations. That was a hard-fought victory. Talk to us about those last couple laps there battling with Adam Eisenhower.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. That's a hell of a show, I'm sure, for the broadcast. It's pretty intense racing back and forth. Seemed like between me, him, and William Hartman all night. I know he came over the radio and said I drove him up the track. I was looking at the replay. I thought it was pretty on my side, pretty clear. I kind of just held my line a little bit. Kind of fighting for the same piece of real estate. I was on the inside, so yeah, man, I'm sorry I kind of made contact there, but yeah, just good, really good hard racing.
Yeah, it was good hard race, and I'll tell you, we try not to make judgment calls here as commentators, but I'm going to lean on the side of that was just good hard racing there at the end. It was sure fun to watch. Will, we're approaching the playoffs here, and to pick up a win anytime is fun. It does a lot for the ego, but what does that do for you here in the Truck Series? Picking up a win, and you're not battling in the points. So, are you going to continue out the season through the playoffs, or are you going to take it easy and let the playoff runners run that thing out?
Yeah, I'm going to take it easy and let those guys race. I got some teammates that do run the Truck Series, so if it comes time to help them, I'll try to help them as much as I can. But for the most part, I really don't race a whole lot of trucks. It was more of some guys wanted me to kind of race tonight and give it a run, and that's kind of what I did. But yeah, for the most part, I'm going to hang out and watch them.
All right, so you'll be watching these GSRC broadcasts. That's great to know. Will, who'd you like to thank?
Yeah, thank y'all for putting on a good show. Obviously, it's y'all's first one, so that's really another reason why I kind of wanted to get on it, because I know it's y'all's first broadcast for the trucks. But besides that, thank y'all, my teammates, for watching tonight and helping out during the week and whatnot. We're all pretty close. I thank my wife and for letting me do this. I know she's up right now with the baby, so it's kind of tough. Thank my mom and my father-in-law for watching, and all the fans we got out there. I appreciate it.
Hey, and we thank them as well. Will, go take care of the baby. Relieve the wife. We'll see you next time. All right, that was Will Davis, our big winner tonight. And we have caught up with Adam Eisenhower. We're going to bring him in and talk to Adam. Adam, boy, I want to say it was a racy deal at the end. What's your opinion?
You got a copy?
Yes, sir. We got you.
All right. I never know what's pushed to talk in this. I don't get to talk to you guys enough.
That's all right, Adam. It's good, it's good to talk to you. Congratulations, though, on the second place.
It is. It was a good race. It was a tough way to finish second. That restart, there was a penalty in the restart there at the end that put me, a couple car lengths behind at a disadvantage. And then, of course, going into three with 2 or 3 to go there. I don't know, man. Was it a racing incident? If you're running hard and you're doing everything possible for the win, I guess it is. But there would have been another racing incident if I could have made up that 2/10 there in the last lap. I can tell you that right now.
Well, it's certainly got to feel good to bring the series sponsor home on the podium. They're the Sim Speed Shop truck here in the Truck Series. Adam, it's so good to be with you guys. Get to finish this season out with you. What are your impressions going forward here for the rest of the truck season? Are you going to be running with everybody, or are you going to take some time off from the Truck Series once the playoffs start?
Yeah, I'm going to run where I can. I don't practice a lot on the road courses, so I might take a couple of those weeks off. I have a vacation coming up, which is actually going to put me at a severe disadvantage in the chase for the Challenger Series. So, just take it week by week, run and have fun. That's just the name of the game, what I come here for.
Sounds good, Adam. Who'd you like to thank tonight, buddy?
Yeah, well, thanks to you guys for coming over. Thanks to SimSpeedShop.com as well. Jason Eisenhower, my brother. for putting up some money to sponsor this. You guys are great. SSCA does a great job running and officiating this league. Other than that, thanks to everybody who runs, everybody who watches. Jeff and Kathy are some friends of mine who like to watch this. So hope they enjoyed the race. It sure was a good show.
I think Kathy enjoyed it. She's smiling on the chat. Adam, real quick, I'm going to put you on the spot. Finish tonight aside, who's the better race car driver, Adam Eisenhower or his brother?
I think Jason's a great driver, and we don't really have a hard rivalry here, but he's great with supporting and spotting for me and all of that, and runs pretty damn well himself. Finished top 12 in a race we had last night that I finished much worse, and so we don't compete other than just when we're on the track together.
Okay, so and you guys aren't throwing your toys across the room at each other during a race or any of that?
No, maybe about 30 years ago we might have been doing that.
Okay, but, all right.
30 years ago we were definitely doing that. There's no doubt about that. But now that we're older and more mature, we got it. We got a good relationship. We work together. We're business partners together in another business. So we work together and see each other every day, for better or worse. But he's a good dude.
All right. Well, listen, great to talk to you. We will catch you next time. That is second place. And now we're going to catch up with Joe Johnson. Joe, who had quite a race himself. Joe, congratulations on a podium finish, buddy. That was hard fought, especially coming from where you did back in the field there.
Yeah. Once the truck seemed like it goes through a run and start loosening up, and I'd rather drive a loose truck than a tight truck. And I thought I'd get up there and give my teammates some trouble for the win, but coming in tonight, we really needed the points. We were tied for 12th in the chase, and we're just trying to get as many as we can before Bristol. So I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Glad to get the Sim Speed Shop truck up to the front. It was a good night for us.
Yeah, I had a couple of Sim Speed Shop trucks here on the podium tonight. That's a good thing. You mentioned Bristol. I didn't talk about that with anybody yet. Let's look towards Bristol. Congratulations on getting the points you need tonight, but man, you got something for Bristol? You got something for these guys?
Right now it's kind of a 3-horse race towards the bottom of the points, just between me, Robert McFarland, and McFadden. And me and McFarland came in tonight tied, so I knew I had to make some points up on him, and I tried to finish ahead of him. Every stage it looks like we did that. Top 3 here at the end really helped us out as well. So just trying to get this CCR ride into the chase and represent Sim Speed Shop as well. We appreciate you guys coming on. You guys are doing some outstanding things for the SSCA, and just a great night, really.
Yeah, it really was, Joe, and it was a pleasure getting to call it, man. Really looking forward to the rest of these races. Wish you the best at Bristol. Anybody you'd like to thank real quick?
All my teammates at CCR, Sim Speed Shop for being on board. They got some really great products that they're bringing into the sim world. So anytime we can represent them well, we enjoy it. And like I said, we appreciate you guys doing what you do as well. And we'll pack it up and see you at Bristol.
All right, we will. Safe travel to you. We'll see you then. One more driver to talk to here before we wrap this show up. We got to talk to Robert McFarland. Robert, you were supposed to finish ahead of Joe. What happened there at the end, man?
Thank you very much. First thing I got to do is thank my team, Savage Drive. We are coming after you if you're in the top of the points. That includes some great guys that helped me out. William Hartman, Mike Donahue, Ray Richard, Kevin Fetty. Special thanks to Judd Danielson. Yeah, on that last restart, he just got a better jump than I did. I could not run him down.
Yeah, it just looked like there wasn't enough giddy up left in the truck to go get him. But kind of a helpless position to feel like you're in there when you just really can't do anything. You're a bystander, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. I was racing around Joe all night long. I want to thank Joe Johnson for racing me clean. I know we were side by side on numerous occasions. We both got stage points in the first 2 stages, the first of my season, actually. And then again, he finished 1 spot ahead of me. We were tied coming in tonight. I'm thinking he's going to be a couple points ahead of me. But Bristol is right around the corner. Pocono.
Well, you know what? Listen, I really enjoyed watching tonight. I think you have something for this group, and certainly love the way you started this interview. Savage is out to take them all. So my best of luck to you here as we go down the stretch. And, we've got one more to get in the playoffs here. So very, very important race coming up here in a couple weeks for you guys.
It sure is. I will do exactly as all of my team members do. Join as many practice sessions as we can find or we can put up. And that was one secret to having a great finish tonight. My best finish here in trucks, I think I got a third in the Cup Car Series earlier. And we also want to thank you guys at Global SimRacing Channel for everything you've been doing. And we're super pumped that you are covering our truck races now. We cannot wait for the rest of the season with you guys covering our races.
Man, and we are so happy to be here and really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks, Robert. And until then, travel safe, and we will catch you back out on the track. Listen, it's been a great night. We've got to thank our sponsor one more time, Top Shelf Auto Detailing. Yeah, they were the great sponsor here this evening. They've been sponsoring the SSCA here all season, various races. You know, they're Raleigh, North Carolina's most experienced auto detailing company for over 35 years now. Top Shelf Auto Detailing has been making rides look new again. Call Robert over there. Give him a shout. He's at 919-883-7497, 919-883-7497. He'd love to hear from you, and he'd love to spruce up your ride for you. Now, it's time to put a pretty bow on this and send you on over to the Lionheart broadcast, but stick with me here while I give thanks to everybody, the organizers, Gary Sexton and all of his team, the competitors of the Simulated Stock Car Association, and the Sim Speed Shop Truck Series for coming out here tonight and putting on a great show. We'd also thank, we'd like to thank all the companies and software that you see on screen that provide all of this for our broadcast. There you see them listed on screen now. Additional thanks goes out to Eric Ekholm and June Lalonde, who provide us with our great music. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of their great work. I want to thank the team today, especially Sam. Go check them out in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. They're probably getting ready to grid up here in just a few minutes. I want to thank Joe in the booth, twisting and tweaking the dials for us. The great Dougie Beard, the Ansel Adams of cinema. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, visit us at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media. Find us at Twitter at GSR Channel. Facebook, like our Facebook page. Please just go over there and type Global Sim Racing Channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't done it yet, you're here. Hit that red button. We'd love to get a sub from you. All of the upcoming races for our other series are listed on your screen coming up here now. Check those out. Mark them down on your calendar and don't miss another exciting second of racing action. There's the next round, 15, Wednesday, August the 8th from Bristol Motor Speedway. Until next time, race fans, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.